What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Alex, joined today by my co-host, Ryan. What's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just hanging. Glad we got our theme music back.
Yes, we got the problems fixed. And it's been a busy week for no sports happening yet. We've had a lot of news happen recently. I guess probably the biggest thing is the Redskins and Indians, Washington and Cleveland. Basically, Nike and FedEx have demanded that Washington change their team name to something different, and the Indians somehow got tangled up in that, and now they are being asked to do the same, basically.
I mean, this has been a long time coming. I mean, this is not – a lot of people are coming out and they're like, man, I hope that the NFL and the Redskins don't give in to the requests of the people. Like, that just makes them soft. I was like, well, these aren't really, like, new requests. Like there's been petitions and lawsuits for, like, decades. Literally, like actual years.
It's crazy to me that most of the people that are against it are like, wait, why are y'all just now bringing this up? And like Ryan just said, this is the thing for decades. So, like, I don't understand where all this is coming from. It looks as if FedEx stepping in and saying, hey, we're going to remove our sponsor off the stadium, and then Nike saying, hey, we're not going to sell your merch anymore, has finally gotten to the pockets of Dan Snyder, and it looks like he's going to agree to change the name. Now, it's more of just, will he get it done in the next 3 weeks before training camp starts, or will it be a next year thing? But I just pulled it up, and it looks as if the Washington Warriors have actually emerged as the favorite to replace the Redskins.
Also, did you see today that Amazon followed Nike and also took all their Redskins merch off?
No, I did not.
Yeah. I don't feel like, working off of what you said, I don't feel like there should be any pressure to get the name change done by training camp. I think if they can work towards, like, doing it before September, before the season starts. Because, you know, you can replace helmets in training camp and jerseys. And I mean, I can't imagine that they're going to be, like, doing, like, a color change. They might. You never know. But
so I was looking at it more of like so we're not going to have fans this season, obviously. They're going to lose a bunch of money because of that. If you can get in the next 3 weeks a name changed, and you can have Nike and all those other companies start printing out new jerseys, hats, shirts, then you could get on top of that a little bit, the not having fans. And the Redskins, if that did end up happening, they would probably make the most money of any team this year because they'd be selling brand new merchandise. So, and I feel like if you wait till September, you might miss out on a little bit of a window where people are excited just to have football back, where if you do it now, it's like, oh, well, we have time to get our jerseys before the season starts.
That's true. I didn't really think about that. You were thinking from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, I don't know. Just going off of that, I've had a lot of family in town this week. I've been hanging out with them pretty much for the past 10 days. You know, family we don't really get to see that often.
Yeah.
And we've been debating, you know, and my father-in-law, he's a Redskins fan. So we've been debating on whether this name change should occur and why it should occur. And, I mean, even the Cleveland Indians as well. I mean, it's just so, especially with the social climate the way it is, it has to be done. And this is why.
For sure.
The Redskins name is offensive, and I see why the Cleveland Indians jumped in, and I like that they did that by themselves without having to get dragged through the media.
Yeah.
I like that the Indians came out and said, we're going to do this too, because while their name isn't as offensive as the Redskins is, I feel like personally, and I don't have a lot of room to say what people should and shouldn't get offended by, but I feel like, at least to me, I feel like the Indians logo is a lot more offensive than the Redskins is.
I was going to say the same thing. I feel like the Indian name isn't as bad as the Redskins name, but the logo is much worse than the Redskins logo.
Yeah. They're very inverse of each other. Very interesting. Going off that, I've also heard a lot of chatter about teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, the Atlanta Braves, the Chicago Blackhawks, and even the Florida State Seminoles being pushed to change their names. How do you feel about that?
I don't think any of them need to change their name. Maybe the Florida State Seminoles, but they're literally representing a tribe. Their logo isn't that offensive. Like, I mean, that obviously wasn't the best thing to say, not that offensive, but I don't think their logo is as bad as the Indians or the Redskins. And the Chiefs one blew my mind. When people were calling for the Chiefs to change their name, I was like, wait, why can't they be named the Chiefs? What is offensive about that at all? Just because it has anything to do with Native Americans?
And that's exactly my argument, is because, like talking with my father-in-law, he kind of brought that up. It's like, well, why don't they have to do theirs? And I was like, well, you see the name, like the Chiefs or the Braves, that's not derogatory at all. Their logo, not problematic at all.
It would literally
be
like, honoring. It would be like if the Redskins changed their name to like the Whiteskins. Like people would lose their mind.
Yeah.
Especially white people. So like at this point, just change the name. I just looked it up. The 4 leading names right now, according to NBC Sports, are the Warriors, the Red Tails, the Red Hawks, and the Red Wolves. I think the Warriors is weird because we already have the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Warriors. I honestly like the red fill in the blank because it's just – I feel like especially with a lot of people getting heated about this, like only switching the back end of the name is like it's a nice little like easing them into the name change. I really like the Red Tails personally because I like that it honors the Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah,
but I could also see where that would be problematic as well.
I mean, I guess they could always change it away from Washington and go with DC.
Yeah,
I don't know. That would be a whole name change situation. So I think they'll keep it Washington. I think they will end up getting a new name by August.
Oh, I agree with you, and I hope. I mean, honestly, that would be great news to talk about. Honestly, name changes really excite me. Like, I got really excited when, like, the Hornets changed to the Pelicans.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It's not my team. I just really – I enjoy it.
I'm trying to think, like, what was the last NFL team? I guess because the Colts didn't even really change their name. They just moved.
I think it was the Titans changing from the Oilers to the Titans.
Yeah, which, first of all, don't get me started on that. We should have kept the Oilers. I don't know what we're doing. But – I feel very passionately about that. I don't know why, but I do. No, I agree. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see if they do end up changing the colors at all, what they'll be changed to, and also what the logo will look like.
We need some more orange in the NFL.
Okay.
But before we move on, I just wanted to point out, like, I just laugh at all the salty Redskins fans that are like, we shouldn't change our name. Like, it's just and you look around at like other leagues and like I mentioned a few minutes ago, the Pelicans, like teams change their names sometimes for like no reason at all. So the fact that you guys have a reason and don't want to change it, I don't know. It just makes me laugh.
We're talking Seattle Supersonics changed to the Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Which, again, terrible name. But, I just hope they don't
the Thunder?
Yeah, I hate the Oklahoma City Thunder.
What?
I hate it.
Everything about the Thunder, like the logo, color scheme, jersey. Okay, first off, well, we're getting very diverted.
No, we're good.
The Thunder have the best jerseys in the NBA. Don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted.
Are you kidding? They're probably top 3 worst jerseys in the NBA. I'm not kidding.
Alec.
Hang on. Let me pull it up. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is terrible. What is good about this jersey?
Well, like you have the classic, the blue and orange and black. Then you have like their alternates, which are like the all navy, which is dope. Their white ones look great. Oh, there's one that I really love. The orange ones that say OKC. Are you kidding me?
Those are okay, but I don't.
Dude,
I'm not a fan.
Best unis in the NBA.
It could be just because I hate the color orange, so that could be why. But
is there like a deep-rooted problem in your childhood that like?
No, I just don't like orange. It's just that easy. I guess we can move on. We spent a little bit of time on these name changes. You want to talk about DeSean Jackson next. We
Yeah.
need more controversy out of the way.
So I've been trying to like read up on it, and I've read a few different articles, but it looks like I almost said Deshaun Watson. DeSean Jackson, the wide receiver for the Eagles, not the quarterback for the Texans,
Yes.
came out on Instagram with a Hitler quote, which, I mean, by no means is okay. But he quickly took it down. The Eagles reprimanded them, which I thought was pretty cool. And I saw that Matthew Berry, who's an ESPN fantasy writer, he kind of came out very quickly and was like, hey, like, you know, like there was a whole bunch of like people vocalizing their like, you know, other teammates about like saying racial things about like Black Lives Matter. Why are we not like doing this? Because all hate is hate, you know, whether it's Black Lives Matter against the Jewish community or any other community, like,
for sure.
You know, they need people who do that need to be called out, which I completely agree with. And it seems like after he said that, a bunch of people have started to come out.
Yeah, they did. You know, a lot of people actually.
And I don't know if you saw earlier this morning, but Julian Edelman, who is Jewish, came out and he wanted to have a really good conversation with DeSean. He invited him to DC to go to the Holocaust Museum, and then immediately after, like, he'll take DeSean to the Holocaust Museum if DeSean takes him to the African American History Museum. I've been to both of those museums. They are both fantastic, and I really like that he did that, because that's representing what we all should be doing. It's forgiving and educating, and I loved it. I'm not a Julian Edelman fan. He's in my division, and I hate him. I cannot stand him on the field, but I respect that move a lot. I thought that was really cool.
Agree. He took the higher road, and he offered to help with the situation rather than make it worse. I'm also glad the Eagles didn't end up cutting DeSean Jackson, because now he has a chance to just undo the wrongs that he did do. I hope he takes Julian up on this offer and actually
goes with
him, because I have been to both of those museums also, and they're both amazing. And I think that they would really – I hope we get an Instagram post from them. Well, I guess now I don't even know if you can't go to the museum. But at some point, I hope they end up going together, or they sit down and they have a conversation. With that being said,
screw a post, man. I need a video. I need both of them to be mic'd up. Like, I need it all. I need all the content.
Ryan's like, there's no sports. We need content, people. We need content.
Okay, but tell me, like, you wouldn't want to see, like, DeSean Jackson. I keep wanting to say Watson. DeSean Jackson and Julian Edelman walk through those museums. That would
it would be cool, but it might ruin the moment a little bit. Let them have their own private moment.
That's true. That's true.
Let them talk about things. Let them get deep. I guess we can move on. We have a couple other players to talk about. David Njoku, I believe this was Monday. It might have even been Sunday, has requested a trade from Cleveland. And Cleveland basically was like, hey, we want to keep you. If I'm correct about that.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Which I don't get.
You don't get why they want to keep him, or you don't get why he wants to leave?
No, I get why he wants to leave. I don't get why they want to keep him.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but Stefanski is notorious for running 2 tight end sets. So although they signed Hooper, like, Njoku was still going to get plenty of playing time. So I kind of don't get why I get both sides. I get why he wants to leave, and I also get why they want him. I mean, I feel like he would definitely get reduced playing time, but like he'd still get, you know, like a pretty decent chunk for like a tight end too.
I think he needs a new home. Just get out of Cleveland, man.
Yeah. I mean, I know you'd be open to it with a team like the Panthers needing a tight end. So what do you think is the most likely destination for him?
Oh, I think there's 3 options, and any of them would be great. I think the Panthers, 100%, because I think Ian Thomas is their starting tight end at the moment. The Green Bay Packers, I think, would just be electric. I think he would turn into Jimmy Graham, but with the Saints. So like a young Jimmy Graham. And then third, I would like to see him on the Patriots, honestly. You put Cam Newton with David Njoku, it could be like a young Greg Olsen for him. He's very athletic. But I don't know if Cleveland and the Patriots have traded a lot in the past. So I don't know. Yeah. It could be I just wonder what it's going to take. Like, how much is Cleveland going to want for him? Because he's only 23 years old. He's very young.
I could see him going for like anywhere from like a 3rd to 5th round pick.
Well,
like one of those.
He turns 24 tomorrow, but still. I mean,
happy birthday.
Yeah, that's incredibly young still for a tight end. I know he's been injured a few times, but he's very fast. He's so young. He can still grow. I don't know, man. Where do you see him going?
So I love the Panthers and the Packers. I don't know if I see him on the Patriots because they did just draft 2. They drafted Ossie and Dalton Keene, and I feel like they're going to try to develop those guys.
You're right.
But 2 places, I mean, the Packers and the Panthers were both on my list. The only other teams I would add is potentially the Redskins, who just lost Vernon Davis and Jordan Reed. So, I mean, I know they signed Logan Thomas, and I can't remember who else they signed, but like, you know, none of those guys are like a tight end 1 like Njoku is. So I'd like to see him plugged in there. The only other really good fit I could think of is potentially Arizona. That would just make that offense 10 times deadlier. Could you imagine David Njoku with D-Hop, Larry, and Christian Kirk?
No, it's disgusting. Also, Cowboys.
I could see that.
They don't have a tight – I mean, I think their tight end is Blake Jarwin, who I'd much rather have David Njoku. Now, do I want all of those personalities in one room? I'm not sure. That's a lot. But Jerry Jones is known for that. I think they'd prefer to have Jamal Adams over David Njoku. So,
is Njoku a personality, though?
No, actually, I think he's like a super good locker room guy. I know he does like yoga and like poetry and stuff. So,
wow.
I don't think – I mean, at least on Hard Knocks, he was doing yoga and poetry. So, he seems like a pretty well-rounded person, hungry to make some money and be a star in the league.
See, honestly, I don't understand why – you know, like Adams or Njoku are being tied to the Cowboys because I feel like they just have too many people to pay, man. I don't understand where all this money's coming from.
Well, Adams has requested to go to the Cowboys in the past, so I think that's where those rumors come from. And Njoku, he just fills a need. Now, can we just talk about the Cowboys really quick before we get into this last guy? So obviously. Wait, have we not talked about the biggest news of the whole week?
What's the biggest news of the whole week?
Patty Mahomes getting broken off for $503 million.
I totally left that out.
20 minutes into the episode, and we forgot about – all right, well, forget the Cowboys. We'll come back to them. But obviously the biggest news of the weekend or the week is Patrick Mahomes signs a 12-year or 10-year contract extension worth $503 million. We haven't gotten the guaranteed money yet. But he's become the richest athlete basically to ever sign a contract. And now he's there until he's 33, which is insane to me because when this contract is up, he's only going to be 33. He could literally sign another 10-year contract after this contract.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
It's insane. Sorry. I forgot that we didn't.
No, you're good. I'm embarrassed that we let that slide. We were totally about to just finish this episode and not talk about it.
If we would have went the whole episode, we would have had to start over. I would have texted you later at night and gone, we didn't talk about Patrick Mahomes. And you would have went, damn it, can you record tomorrow? And I would have been, yeah.
Oh, boy.
I mean, okay, this actually ties into the Cowboys thing I was just going to talk about. Is I don't think any other quarterback will ever get a deal like this one.
Not even close.
Can you think of one quarterback in the league that you would give a 10-year contract to right now?
Right now, no. But, like, you know, a few years ago, I would have considered giving Russell Wilson one.
I think I'd give Russell Wilson one right now. How old is Russell?
I think the Ravens might consider giving Lamar something similar. I don't think it'll be 10 years, but I could see him getting, like, maybe like a 7 or an 8-year deal.
You could
with that kind of money.
Realistically, you could give Russell right now an 8-year deal, and he'd be 40 when it's up. He's 31.
I would take that.
I would give Russell an 8-year deal. Other than that, if you're paying Lamar, if you're paying Lamar even close to a 10-year contract, you're insane.
What about Watson?
Not a chance. He's torn his ACL twice.
That's fair.
The only other person that I could maybe even think about, I don't know. I think it's Russell, and then after that,
Definitely Josh Allen.
I was going to say, not even trying to be funny, I was going to say I think it would have to be one of those really young guys, and I still don't know if you do. Like, Josh Allen would have to come out and win MVP this year.
Yeah.
And then
Which
they
is possible.
could potentially think about it. But, like, I don't think you can give it to Lamar.
Maybe Kyler?
Maybe, but he'd have to come out. He'd have to prove something in the next – when his contract's up, he might be the next guy that gets this kind of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Mahomes still has 2 years on his rookie deal left.
On some real stuff, if Lamar doesn't get hurt next year at all, he's probably going to end up signing like a 6 to 8 year contract. I doubt he'll get 10 years just because of the kind of player he is. It doesn't really make sense. Here's also my question is, like, how long do they have – what do they have, 2 years left on his rookie deal?
Yeah.
So they have 2 years of very cheap Patrick Mahomes before this contract kicks in where you're paying him $50 million a year. So you better win the next 2 Super Bowls, basically.
Yeah. Which is definitely possible for them.
For sure. But actually, this actually carries into what I was just talking about with the Cowboys is Dak still hasn't signed. You're not going to pay Dak this kind of money. But, like, what kind of contract do you think Dak ends up getting?
Dak's going to get – I feel like he's going to get close to 40. And honestly, in my opinion, I don't think Dak deserves over 28.
Hang on. I need to Google who in the league makes $28 million.
Jared Goff.
Does he?
He also – yeah. Or, like, around there.
$28 million.
No, he doesn't deserve it either. But, yeah, he makes around there. I don't know if it's exactly 28 or, like, what, but –
I'm trying to look it up right now. Okay, so right now, this list clearly isn't updated because it has Dak Prescott as the highest paid person in the league. Well, I guess technically he is probably for this season because he just signed his franchise tag.
Yeah.
Wow. There are very few guys that make more than 28. That's crazy.
That's why this Mahomes thing is crazy because it's like $50 million a year.
You know who else, actually, that we didn't even think about? That's annoying. Why is that going off? Is Drew Lock. If Drew Lock can come out and ball out like the next 2 seasons.
I would not give Drew Lock a 10-year contract.
If he comes out and balls out for the next 2 seasons before his contract's up, you have to think about it. The only guys that are going to get these 10-year deals are – I don't think this is the regular, though. I think Patty's the only one.
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, please let's not normalize
now,
getting cap help for 10 years.
If Jerry comes out and gives Dak like some fucking 12-year deal, I'm going to be just done.
That would be the most Cowboy thing ever.
But
it's going to be like $1 million more than Mahomes' deal.
Oh, for sure. It'll be like $505 million over 12 years. Which I think if you do the math, he's only making like $45 million a year, which I know doesn't. I mean,
only 45.
No, but you got to think about it. The next guy that signs is going to make more than that.
I honestly do not think that there will be another person that makes more than Patrick Mahomes.
Ever?
Yes,
well, I mean, because the market will value them high. They won't get a 10-year deal, but they'll get like a 4-year deal worth $50 million.
Over the span of that contract, I don't think we'll ever see someone get a contract like that again. You can't go handing those out like they're candy, man. And a lot of these teams, I don't know how the Chiefs are even able to give this out. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Because they don't have to pay them for 2 years. So they have 2 years to unload contracts. And then it's going to be like, I think the first year it's $50 million. I wonder if it's front-loaded or back-loaded. Like, I wish we got more details about it, like how much of it is guaranteed, all this stuff. Like, because how much of it is guaranteed is a big deal.
He's going to be running with a lot of receivers on their rookie contract for, like, the rest of his life.
Yeah, I was going to say, guess what rookie quarterback is making more money than Patrick Mahomes this season?
Mitch Trubisky.
I said rookie quarterback.
Oh, sorry. Burrow?
Tua Tagovailoa. Burrow hasn't signed his contract yet, so he technically doesn't get any money. Wait, is Josh – no, I thought Josh Rosen was making more than Patrick Mahomes. I was going to vomit. No, but, like, Tyrod Taylor's making more than Patrick Mahomes. Marcus Mariota. Mitchell Trubisky is making $9 million, which is insane.
That's because he was second overall in the same draft class. You get like the money you get is based off of like where you're selected.
I know, but still. It's crazy that we thought Kirk Cousins' deal was that insane, and he's number 1, 2, 3, 4. He's number 13 on this list.
But it's fully guaranteed, though.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
And also, it's Kirk Cousins.
How did Jared Goff get that contract?
I don't know, but I still think that the GM of the Rams should be fired. Les Snead, after that contract, should have just been
I agree. But we only got one more thing really to talk about before we wrap up this episode, and that is Raheem Mostert has requested a trade from the San Francisco 49ers because of contract negotiations went downhill or something like that. He wanted more money basically, even though he already signed an extension. He came back and said, hey, I basically carried us to a Super Bowl. Pay me some money. And they said, yeah, no, you're under contract. And then he said, all right, I want to be traded. And other than that, I haven't heard a single rumor about him potentially being traded. Have you?
No, I have not. I'm trying to think of like where I could see him fitting in.
Wait. Was the Raheem Mostert request fake?
Nah, dude, it was all over.
Okay.
Schefter was posting it, so it's got to be. I trust Schefter, and Schefter we trust.
Wait, hang on. I think it is fake.
It's not fake, man. His agent came out and like tweeted.
Oh, no, okay. My bad. There was a fake Twitter account that said that he requested a trade, but then his agent came out and said, no, this is actually a real thing. My bad.
Yeah.
That headline had me. I was like, wait, is this all fake? I'm looking it up right now, and there's literally not any teams that have come out and said they're interested. I was trying to think. We were talking in the group chat earlier about what we thought potential landing spots were, and I could only come up with two, and it's the Bucs and the Falcons. And other than that, I don't really have anybody else. Do you have anybody?
Other than those two teams, I was gonna throw in the Jags. I could see them.
That's true. But here's the thing: he wants to be traded, and then he wants to be paid more money. It'd be different if he just wanted to be traded because he's on such a cheap contract that it would make sense. But nobody's gonna. I mean, Melvin Gordon signed for $11 million with Denver this year because he couldn't find a job. Nobody's gonna sign Raheem Mostert and pay him.
See, honestly, I would love him in New Orleans, but they already have to pay Kamara, and their wallet's already pretty tight. And so adding another running back that wants to get paid is probably not the best situation for them.
And they have Latavius Murray. And what's his contract?
Man, who cares about Latavius Murray?
Bro, guess how much money Latavius Murray's contract was for? It was for 4 years. Guess how much money it is?
He signed a 4-year deal with the Saints?
Apparently, according to Google, yeah. The Saints reportedly signed running back Latavius Murray to a 4-year blah, blah amount. How much do you think?
4 years, $16 million. So $4 million a year.
A little bit less, 14.4.
Wow.
I literally thought this was for – I didn't read the whole thing that said 4 years at first, and I thought it was for 1 year. And I was like, he signed for $14 million and Melvin signed for 11. But,
yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think there's a market for him. I think he's going to end up staying on the team.
Yeah, I could see – I just don't see it. I honestly, like, if I was the 49ers, I would try to get him out of there because that just gives them an excuse to get Devontae Freeman.
It's true. I mean, realistically, somebody's going to get COVID or somebody's going to get injured in training camp, and then you're going to have to bring in a backup or you're going to have to bring in another rotational running back, and they're going to call up San Francisco and go, hey, I'll give you a 4th-round pick for him.
Yeah.
Here it is. But I don't get it. San Francisco is one of the biggest, like, Super Bowl contenders for the next, like, couple years. Why would you want to leave?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me either. But honestly, like, they still have Tevin Coleman and Jerick McKinnon. So, like.
Yeah, they traded Matt Breida, and then I feel like they have somebody else, don't they?
Not, like, notable. I think Coleman and McKinnon are, like, the only big guys besides Mostert.
You're right.
Maybe.
No, the next one is his name is Jamycal.
JaMychal?
I guess that's how you'd say that. And then his last name is Hasty.
Hasty. JaMycal Hasty.
And I've never – well, actually, Kyle Juszczyk is ranked higher than him on the running back depth chart. So –
okay, Kyle Juszczyk is a baller, though. Like, that man's a freak.
Yeah, I know, but a fullback is ranked higher than you. This guy's also 5'6". Okay, let me stop talking about JaMycal Hasty. But you got anything else before we wrap up this episode?
I wanted to talk a little bit about the NFL banning jersey swaps today.
I'm glad you brought that back up. But yeah, this is stupid. Makes no sense to me. What is this going to cause? You're literally going to be in a game where you're rubbing, like, all right, that sounds weird, but like you're tackling and you're like talking to them. Yeah, exactly. We're rubbing forearms. You're sweating. Like there's contact. It's literally a physical sport. And now after the game, we can't go and be like, here you go, man. Here's my jersey. We can't talk after the game. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and the NFL is getting like ridiculous backlash for this. I mean, they're like guys all over Twitter like, you're going to let us hit each other for 60 minutes, but we can't swap jerseys for 2 minutes after the game. It doesn't make any sense.
I think they'll end up changing it back.
Yeah, I think so too.
Or they'll like come up with some way that they can do it where there's like a jersey swap person who like takes one jersey and takes it to the guy, you know?
I volunteer. I will be that person. Dude.
Right? Like, I'll risk COVID. I don't care. Put me in a hazmat
mask. Okay. Pay me like maybe like $100 to $200 a game. So you're gonna fly me out there. I'll be there.
You're gonna say $100,000, and I was gonna go, Ryan, you're insane. Wait, hang on, Ryan. That's only $2,000 for the whole season. Think about how much travel that is.
I know, but if they fly me out, like travel has to be included in this gig.
Sir, you are married. You're married, and you have a son or a daughter on the way.
We don't know.
I said son or daughter. I stuck it in there. So I
good save.
Happy if you took a job paying $200 and you had to travel every single week to different NFL games.
I make my own rules.
Just maybe like $1,000. Then you get $1,000, right. And you only have to work for 16 weeks. There you go. And then the Super Bowl. So really, you'll make like $20,000 in like 4 months.
I'm okay with that.
Ryan's new career, and but yeah,
it's been fun.
It has been fun. We'll see you guys next week. We really don't have anything else. Please wear your mask because I desperately want NFL football.
Please wear your mask.
Please, 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 please. But other than that, hope you guys have a good weekend. It was fun. Love you guys.